Looking at the UFC Hall of Famer, the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, former Ultimate Fighter winner, Sugar Rashad Evans is back in competition here with Eagle FC.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the FlexCast Arena here in Miami, Florida, it is now time for your Eagle FC 44 co-main event of the evening. 3 rounds in the light heavyweight division. The judges scoring this contest at cage side will be Hector Gomez, James Lazaro, and Eliseo Rodriguez. Introducing first, fighting to my left out of the blue corner. He stands in at 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing officially at 204 pounds. His record stands at 12 wins against 5 defeats. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gabriel Zangief Checo. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He stands in at 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing officially at 202 pounds. His decorated mixed martial arts record stands at 19 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida. He is the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world and also the UFC Hall of Famer. Please welcome back to the cage, Sugar Rashad Evans. And your referee in charge, Alan A. Belize.
It's a feeling in the air tonight. It's been going on since we started, since the first fight. It's a special night tonight, but does it get any better than this? The return of Rashad Evans, and man, he looks loose. It's a new lifestyle, Chael. You touched on it. Fruits and vegetables, baby. That's all it is.
Hey, listen,
and he looks good.
When somebody returns, you always have to answer the same question, which is, what is going to be different? Rashad had an answer. He changed his lifestyle. He changed what he put in his body for 3.5 years. He said it helped keep the inflammation down, allowed him to train necessarily and properly for this, and he says he's never been faster. Let's see if he's right.
And if you notice too, like his stance is a little different. He's a little more upright, kind of little triple C man, little karate in there. Like I don't remember Rashad fighting like that.
Checo stepping right in and getting in a fight here.
That's 2 kicks that he's hit him with, and those hurt.
Yeah, you can stay in that stance, but you have to know what you're giving up. You can't give up that just free kicks like that from Checo. You've got to be able to counter something.
That's 3. That's not.
I think Rashad's looking for a takedown, guys. I think he's trying to back Checo up just a little more, and he's going to change elevation and go for the double. And it'll be telling. If he doesn't get it, he's going to lose a little faith in himself. Rashad looking for that big right hand as well. He's loading it.
You can't let him. You can't let all these free kicks go unanswered here. You got to be able to land something.
Yeah, Rashad's going to have to control, but there you go. That's the distance. You want to have the ability to get out of things. He's got to be a little more neutral with the stance because those were 3 hard kicks at the beginning. And when it's dry out there, you get hit, that you lose mobility because of that.
A little bit more aggressive than I expected out of Rashad. He said, maybe he wanted
kicks,
to let him gas out. Rashad is taking control, gentlemen.
Great job by Rashad, and this is Rashad's bread and butter. Rashad is probably one of the heaviest guys that I've ever felt on top. This is his key signature position here because he's gonna look to trap that hand right there, and don't be surprised if he ends up in a crucifix here.
Hey, Checo missed an opportunity to scramble. As soon as they hit the mat, you got to think that mat's like lava. It's going to burn you. You got to move right away. Checo settled in, and as he settled, Rashad is now settling, and Rashad is inside control.
He is, and it's this right here. You feel safe here with Rashad in this position, but all of a sudden he ends up in a crucifix position.
He's looking for it now. He's looking to come with that knee.
And here he goes.
As you were saying, champ.
I know that position all too well. I mean, I'm not saying I ended up there at any point. I'm just saying I watched him do it.
Got to stay patient. I feel you, Kamaru. crazy enough, man, something that also is making him so happy is that he has officially restarted the Black Zillions. That's so special to him, man. And what Glenn Robinson had, the late great Glenn Robinson, and what he brought to it, he feels like he had to do that to repay him and to honor him. And it's really, man, he's just in a different space, Kamaru. And I know you know that because you guys are close.
Yeah, that's an extremely something very special for him because, I mean, he started that. And starting that with Glenn and giving a lot of fighters like myself the opportunity to be able to train, find their footing, and then go do something great with their careers. I mean, it's something very, very special, and he's just ecstatic about it.
Checo is being defensive from his back here. Anytime you see that closed guard, particularly a figure four from the guy on bottom, he's looking to close distance, but he's not looking to get up. He's not looking to finish. I think that Gabriel really needs to rethink this, start to scramble and get back to his feet.
I mean, we're thinking right now, it's been a minute since Rashad has fought. I think part of it too, like even in this situation now, which is good that he has to rain on elbows, but I think it's almost like, how can I say it? It's like Rashad is like, man, I am here, I am fighting. You know, it's like it's clicking to him.
Yeah.
And I can tell, man, as a competitor, as a fighter, it's like, dude, I'm actually fighting again.
No, man, you can't ignore the elephant in the room, and it was the 5 straight losses, and it was something that everybody was so disappointed in. You don't want to see your favorite fighter get into a spot like that, but it seems like he's reawakened, that he is in a different space right now, and it's so obvious the way he's fighting right now.
And guys, I'll tell you historically, when somebody's been out of the ring for a period of time like Rashad has, they can do very well on the ground. They can get comfortable, they can slow things down. It's being on the feet that things can come a little fast at you. I think Rashad needs to keep the fight down here as much as he can.
I agree with you, Gerald. I agree. And he's got to be careful there because he keeps leaving his hand in there in certain positions. Yes, he's not entirely in danger here, but you don't want to give your opponent any chance of being able to catch something here.
Yeah, it's something like we go back to that Ramazan fight where Ramazan's just controlling and he's not necessarily doing or making a lot of damage, but making damage is investment. It's an investment that you got to do because it's going to carry on for the second and third round.
But this side control is something that Rashad is just so good at. He's so good at stepping up into that crucifix position.
Referee, it appears Rashad Evans is going to end up on top and in control. Can Zangief answer in round number 2? Gabriel Checo in the biggest fight of his career. Can he answer here in the second stanza? Eagle FC 44. Henry Cejudo, Chael Sonnen, and Kamaru Usman on the call. Alongside myself, Cyrus Fees. What an honor it has been all night long here at the FlexCast Arena in Miami, Florida. A new chapter in MMA has begun.
Rashad's entering this time. Rashad knows what he needs to do, which is get my hands on him and bring him back down to the canvas.
And as you can see here, his approach is a lot different than the first round. The first round, that approach was let me stay flat-footed and really try to pressure him, and he ate those 3 leg kicks. But you can see here, he's a lot lighter on it. He's able to just pick it up just to check those kicks, and I think it's going to be better for him here standing up.
Gabriel Checo breaking out the fancy stuff. A little switch kick here on Rashad Evans. Very comfortable with his strikes, and Evans, he's going to take that all day long, guys. Dragging him down. The former collegiate wrestler.
I think Checo might have grabbed a hold of that fence a moment ago. The ref was circling around. All right, Checo's down.
Oh, man, Rashad wants to end this thing.
He does. Right here, he's got to look to just continue to do damage and not let Checo, because Checo feels safe on his back. You know, he's been grappling for a long time, so he feels that he's okay here.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Rashad transitioned here to a mount, guys. Checo's thinking
Gotta watch those leg locks. He's got to watch those leg locks here.
You score mad at?
Oh, he's got to push out.
I think his knee's okay, Kamar. I think Rashad cleared his knee. Checo needs to sit up here. I don't think that Checo is quite understanding right position. He's looking for submission, but MMA, he needs position.
This is, he pulled it back in, but this is where he lives here.
In trouble.
He's
coming around effortlessly. Rashad Evans is out of trouble once again.
And he ends up in his position, which is that crucifix, and he can end the fight at any moment here.
Great decision by Rashad.
Warning from the referee.
For the audience at home, Gabriel is putting his toes in between the fence. You can post your foot on the fence. You cannot bend your toes and grab it. The referee thought he was doing that and gave him a final warning.
Halfway through round 2, the return of Rashad Evans here at Eagle FC. Looking very good tonight in Miami. Rashad Evans moving around to the back. Henry, it seems like it's the tricky stuff for Checo if he can pull this thing off, man. He's always looking for it, but Rashad just seems to have too much for him. That being said, here comes Gabriel Checo.
Of course, but there's something that Rashad knows more than anybody, and that's just control. You know, even if Pacheco does end up in somewhat of a good position, man, Rashad's able to find ways to scramble.
But he can't get lazy here. He can't get lazy here and have Checo end up on top. This is not the position you want to be in.
I'm at the point, guys, where I'm seeing all these competitive fights. I want to see them one apiece going into the third. Is that selfish of me, Uncle Chael?
No, I understand it. Look, we're here to take in a show, and we do want to see Rashad, in all fairness, test it just a little bit. Want to make sure that he gets a little feel for everything so he can make his decisions moving forward. And it seems like Rashad is still a damn good wrestler to me.
Former JUCO national champion, wrestled for a great team at Michigan State.
He's got to be careful here because this is you can't play with fire all night and expect to not get burned at some point. That leg lock is.
Yeah, he's got it. He's yep.
Now,
Are we
Gabriel,
in trouble here?
guys,
Joe?
Gabriel needs to sit up and get on top. He's not doing that. Gabriel does not understand the importance to position. He's too focused on submission. Rashad has out-positioned him all night long.
Yes, but it's still a dangerous position here.
He's above the knee.
The knee's in
Pacheco's
play.
in a great position right now, guys.
The knee is in play.
Gabriel Checo working on the legs of Rashad Evans would be the biggest win of his career, a career-defining victory. Is he going to get the legend?
The problem is Rashad Evans has some of the most flexible knees and feet that I have ever felt. The first time I actually got a chance to train with Rashad, that was the only way he was getting out of my takedowns.
That's why you're here, champ. That's why you're here, for that insight right there, man. Somebody that's been on the mats many, many times with that man, Sugar Rashad Evans.
It's tricky. I tell you what, he's
Rashad's gotta
relentless.
push that knee, though. There you go.
Rashad's
He's
safe.
finally out.
That was a battle of the knee more than it was the foot, and Rashad knew that and got his knee clear, and that's why he's going to see round 3.
Checo not even wanting to go back to his corner, man. He is ready to throw down. Maybe thought he was very, very close to something in round number 2. Is Rashad Evans going to test those waters again? And back to the action. So far, living up to the hype, guys. I got to ask you, man, are you happy with the performance thus far from Sugar Rashad Evans?
Of course, man. He's been out for so long. I mean, there's a lot of pressure coming, for a comeback. So just the fact that he's up 2 rounds. Of course, I would love to see a spectacular knockout. But no, and Rashad's position, he's doing a really great job.
Well, you might be on your way to something right now.
He landed that right hand. I think it might have hurt Checo.
Checo definitely froze. He definitely paused there.
It's hurt a lot of people in the past, and here goes Checo again.
But again, Checo's looking for submission and not he could sit up and possibly reverse Rashad. He's not doing that. His competitive grappling is coming through right now. He's got to sit up and try to reverse the position, and he's not respecting that. It's cost him 2 rounds, and it's going to cost him this one.
Rashad's got to put pressure on that knee here. You can't get lazy here. He's being a little lazy here. You got to push that knee down.
He heard you, Kamaru.
He heard you loud and
You
clear.
cannot get lazy there. I know all too well. This is how my jiu-jitsu coach, George Santiago, tortures me when he has no answer for anything else. He knows, go to the legs. If I get a little lazy, he could catch me there.
Yeah, it's almost like the benefit for Rashad to maybe eventually bring it up to his feet because you do recover a little bit on bottom. Yeah, Rashad's putting weight, but these jiu-jitsu guys have been doing it forever. It's normal to them.
The fatigue you're talking about, Henry. Hard to fatigue Checo, I agree.
Of course, because he's still attacking that. He's still attacking that knee bar, that leg lock.
I feel as though Checo is very happy to let Rashad be in the side control. Checo's mind is saying, well, look, Rashad doesn't have a lot of submissions here. What he doesn't know is Rashad saying, yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to run out the clock. I don't got to submit you. I just got to beat the clock. I mean, that's the math you're doing if you're Rashad Evans.
Rashad's got to look to attack the body here, whether with punches or whether with knees here. You got to attack the body here because Checo is just looking for a way to be able to roll or spin into something to attack those leg locks.
But is it going to make it even sweeter if he can get that definitive finish tonight here at Eagle FC?
Absolutely, and I've got to say, like what Henry said earlier, for Henry, it's like, for Rashad, it's like, I'm back in here. I'm back in here right now, and I am 2 minutes away from a win after a five-fight skid. And then one thing that I have to attest to that, guys, with those five-fight skid, for a long time, people didn't realize Rashad, he had a crazy, he was at the height after, I'm sorry to bring this up again, fighting you, Chael. After that fight, Rashad is at the top. Then he suffers a terrible knee injury that thought was healed, and then realized after 8 months of rehab and everything, the cadaver didn't heal.
Oh.
So he had to do another surgery, which put him out for so long. And then at that point, you're just jumping into fights because now you're almost sitting for 2 years with nothing. It was just rough on him. I watched the whole process, and it was very, very tough. But now him being a what do you call it? A fruitarian?
Fruitarian, yes.
He knows
not a pescatarian, a fruitarian.
And he's given his body time to heal, and he's looking better than he's looked in a long, long time.
I agree with that. I mean, to go out there and beat a younger Checo, big surprise. The other side of it, to beat Checo, a master grappler, at grappling, which Rashad is out grappling. He was in full mount at one point, for goodness sakes. He looks fantastic. The speed and some of the things, they come back with a little experience. That's the only sign of rust that I see. Rashad Evans looks as solid as I remember him.
Well, I tell you all the time, like in MMA, everything changes because it's not just wrestling, it's not just jiu-jitsu, it's not just striking, it's everything as a whole. And the difference is when you're on top of somebody throwing punches and bunches, it fatigues you too from all the submissions you're trying to do. You don't do that in jiu-jitsu. So or even for wrestling, vice versa, any of these sports. So he's doing a great job of controlling this fight, and it's going to be a great win for Sugar Rashad.
But Chael, if you want to see him in all submissions, you can write a check out to me. I am his manager, and we will get Rashad in there at submission underground.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, manager.
Oh, my goodness, man. The hits just keep on coming here on commentary. And for Rashad Evans, well, that's how you put it together. That's how you put together a comeback, folks. How about that? Rashad Evans returns to the sport, gets applause from my commentary partners for good reason. Sugar Rashad Evans is officially back in the sport and victorious. We'll have to make that official, but what a game plan and what a masterclass.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. All three judges saw it the same. 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Sugar Rashad Evans.
At the beginning, and kind of like in the late of that first shot, I was like, I told Kamaru Usman, I was like, this dude's almost like, I can't believe I'm fighting again. How did it feel to be fighting again here at Eagle FC?
It felt a little bit like you said, you know, like, damn, this is really happening, you know. Action happened fast, and before I know it, I was just in the fight, but there was that moment where I was like, damn, this is really happening. It felt like a dream.
The other thing I do want to ask you, it's almost like there's not a chip on your shoulder. There's an inspiration in you. What is it that continues at the age of 42 that you still want to scrap, Rashad?
You know, I found the love again, you know, and that's the key to doing a sport. It's a very hard and lonely sport to do when you're not loving it, when you let other things get in the way of what happens in here. What happens in here is sacred. You know, this is like ceremony, you know what I'm saying? And when you come here, you bring it all. And when you're not able to give that in yourself, you feel like something missing. And I was missing that before tonight. What's
next for Sugar Rashad Evans? Also, we have Khabib here. I mean, you're Eagle FC, man. What's next for you?
Well, I feel like I need to getting a little bit better shape, but you know, I'm open. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to roll.
You got your boss. You got your boss right there.
Hey, Eagle, I'm ready, baby. Just pull me in again. I'll be in much better shape and much better do a better job.
And that's your winner, Sugar Rashad Evans, everybody.
First thing I want to say, thankful to my family, my children, Taja, Rashad, Nia, Easy, and Solaris, and my wife, Celiana. Thank everybody for the support. I appreciate it so much, and glory be to God.
There you go, Sugar Rashad Evans once again.